would agree. Initiation, definitely. They have their front line secured pretty well. Picking up a Luna kind of also indicates that if we have our front all right, then it kind of enables the Luna to stay on the move and play more on the attack instead of constantly having to reset and re-engage. Hippomaniacs bring out a hero that we haven't actually seen for quite some time. The CK can be a big threat for specific heroes. I think it's all right against the Broodmother. It's great against the Clock and the Lion, especially if you go for a Blink Dagger. Especially, you have the Reality Rift and the Blink. You can just jump at the backline and nuke quickly.
5 seconds remain.
It matches up okay against the Luna. Plus, it soaks up Eclipse, which is, I think, the big thing here. It's a lane winner.
A lane winner for sure, especially when combined with the Lina. I don't think you have any problems with this Lina lane, do you?
No, this one looks a lot better now, because now
It's
Lina has a friend to play with. You have one stun to another. Lina usually lives off of the LSA and CK, packing up a punch of over 70 right-click damage. And of course the RNG stun that can also do a bit more extra damage. This looks so much better now. Or even if they put the Wyvern with the CK, I still think the Lina Axe can work in this case, because if you leave the Axe early, Lina can then rotate to help. So that also works. They have a bit of flex here. What I'm kind of afraid here is if they put the Lina mid and they turn the Brood into mid, how does that end up going for the Lina? Does Lina get farm? Does Brood push her away? Brood's still going to be big, but does the Lina end up struggling with the lane?
Not with the lane these days, just because you don't have to deal with the Spiderlings up until you're level until the Brood is level 6. But after that, yes, you need to already have your rotation plan in place for who is going to take that lane after the Lina vacates it, because she has a lot of trouble staying there after the Spiderlings come out.
Well, we have our last bans kicking in. Interesting ban section as well.
I was talking about that Pugna.
Yeah. You talked about the Pugna.
The ads Pugna. Well, we're not going to get it.
We're not going to get it this time. But I'm looking at pretty interesting last banning stage. Pugna, Grimstroke. Zeus, a hero you don't get to see banned quite often. Pretty strong against the CK in this case, with the percentage-based damage. Also revealing the heroes around the map. That kind of enables the Brood and the Clock by quite a lot here. Though I feel the Zeus is more of a... What am I looking at here? Is the laning matchup.
Normally, when I see these two bans, I'm thinking, all right, you're going to pick a TB.
Hurry!
But no, Terrorblade's banned, and that would not fit the draft at all.
Yeah, it doesn't fit in really. There's something more to it then.
Well, they're gonna solve it for us. Yeah, Lesh makes a lot of sense.
Lash fits in pretty nicely here for Hippos. Now they have an early tempo play hero. Tower damage, which is what they needed. CK still needs a bit until he can start hacking down towers. It's more about the hero instead of the illusions. The illusions aren't that great. They're more of a distraction / troublemaker. Or like an added factor for killing heroes, but not really great at hitting objectives. But Lesh, in the other hand, is just great for this. And it also takes away map control from the Luna.
Yep, ideally you're able to play up far enough with the Hippomaniacs lineup that the Luna is going to get squished in between your team and the Broodmother territory, where, you know, the Brood is going to soak up a lot of that farm over on the enemy side of the map, so the Luna gets confined to the triangle. That's like your ideal... Well, that's not your ideal situation. Ideally, they get 0 of your towers and you win 30-0. But, you know...
Yeah.
The most ideal realistic scenario.
Yeah. I do like this Void Spirit pick, despite someone saying, "Oh, this is a easy lane for the Leshrac to go into this mid lane matchup, range versus melee." But the thing is, Void Spirit is fantastic against Leshrac when you get the Axe pickup, because that silence is a killer. Plus the damage, the nuke damage. Lesh is a glass cannon hero. This Void is a really good pick, despite the lane being hard. After the laning stage, it's more of a team fight counter, plus pick-off counter against the Leshrac. Plus, you're great at avoiding every time Lesh is trying to land a stun on you. So I really like this Void Spirit last pick, much more than in the previous series.
5 seconds. Hurry,
Yes.
hurry.
So Void Spirit should be able to dodge pretty much all of the spells that the enemy cores can throw at him, and in fact, actually also the supports apart from Winter Curse. This is the Winter Wyvern Hunter. Like the Broodmother, of course, is going to be on this Winter Wyvern's case no matter what, but often what you really need is you get vision with the spiders, and then somebody else tips them over into death, and that is what the Void Spirit is going to do here. And after that, the Luna gets to play the fights properly. And yeah, as you said, the Void Spirit runs no risk of dying throughout all of this. Should be able to outplay his way out of many a dangerous situation here.
Yep. The extra spice coming into this is the 2 new players who literally joined 4 days ago into this team. Filmini, another Czech player, and a Slovakian carry player, Slavi, who's playing the CK. Pretty posh CK set as well. I do really like those cosmetics. But the thing is, cosmetics ain't always enough. It's not always about everything. These 2 guys really need to show up on the stage today. Especially with Muff now being the POS 5 player instead of the POS 4, which we're used to seeing him in. So there's a lot on the table here for Hippomaniacs. The last placed the team in the European, the most stacked region, literally out of all the other other qualifiers. SEA was fantastic. SEA was literally fantastic to watch, but you can't help but say this is the obviously hardest qualifier region right now. So Hippomaniacs, if they can build some kind of wonder run like we saw with Empire in the CIS or the Eastern European qualifiers, this is the roster to do it. So I'm all in. I'm all hands here. I hope these guys can deliver. ITB though, they look great. They've always looked great.
Yeah, really like how Fishman rebuilt this team after it pretty much shattered after the first round of the DPC. In general, pretty big Fishman fan.
Lil pleb.
He's one of those very responsible guys who really wants to build a team as opposed to just a stack with all of the best players on it. I really like that about the guy.
Once again, a aggressive move here through the Radiant jungle towards the mid lane, but they are expecting, again, this is seen by quite a lot of teams. This seems like the play that most, you could almost say that the pub is kind of building through this way, that they're moving through this entire area, and it's either scout a ward or try and get like a pick off or a fight while you're getting there, or take a small skirmish in that area.
So
And the other
move
team
that
just
they
plays
made here-
responsive or defensive.
Like the move that they made here was even more aggressive. Like earlier on, you saw people waiting on the high ground over here, until maybe some unfortunate soul would come walking up. But now they go a little bit further because they know nobody does that anymore. They're looking for the people who are not going that far but still too far. It's
Yep.
it's cute how all of these locations have their own little meta games.
The ill expecting
Mm-hmm.
could always happen. Looking at the lanes here, we have the Void Spirit versus Lesh matchup. This should be Mambo's lane to win, but not by a large margin. Leshrac should be great with the farming potential. If Void Spirit rotates for a kill, Lesh is going to take down your tower. Kind of like when you're fighting against a DP, you don't really want to sacrifice your tower for a rotation in the other lane because you know that the player playing responsive gets to choose what to do. The aggressor always has to make a risk. It's a risk assessment.
Sure.
Does this rotation work out? If it doesn't, I'm on the losing end. The other opponent is basically like, oh, thank you, I'll take this.
There is an additional problem here, which is that if Mambos manages his mana right, he can actually push this wave under tower continuously, like we see right here. Adds, even with all his spells, cannot push out the wave as fast as the Lesh does. So there's a possibility for a lot of tower damage to start ticking up before this matchup even hits level 6.
And we've got the side lanes. Let's look at bottom. Filmini, the new +4 player for Hippomaniacs, lining up with Tipek. Tipek's is Axe. Seen it played a few times. So could almost say a reliable offlaner in a sense. Not too flashy, not too passive. You could almost say like he's your base offlane player in a sense. But obviously, TI is usually a stage where miracles can happen. You know, something special might come out from someone. I feel like a few years, remember Nico Baby, for example? as a carry player, he really
he
brought
came
that
far.
new style of gameplay, kind of how to be aggressive and how to really constantly upset your opponent, of focusing more in trading in lane while skipping a few creeps in between.
And this is the lane as we've just been watching it, as we're mostly going to see it. Tipek and Filmini are going to be pushing this out until eventually they get up into Lil Pleb, and that's where Fishman has to intercept them or suffer the consequences of his Luna getting shoved out. And he cannot leave this lane. They're always going to be able to push his carry under tower. They will eventually dive her and kill her. It is really only a matter of time, but you can lengthen that as much as possible by playing this out well.
Looking at the top lane, CK in trouble. First blood will be scored on Muff. Maybe catch Slobby. But at least they forced his entire mana pool, plus a lot of HP lost in here. First blood for Into the Breach. Off of the Winter Wyvern in the top lane. They still have a salve on Tanner. If he needs to use it. Can also sit on some of that passive regen. He will pop the salve as Wyvern's coming back into action.
And what I'd like to see here is Slaween taking a really aggressive touch to this game, because his axe is going to most likely hold that thought. His Lina is in trouble. Very close to getting out there. But yeah, this axe is at some point going to need to stop off this Broodmother, be involved in rotations to top, and that means that you're making defensive rotations on the guy who's supposed to be the aggressor. So Slawi has some making up to do there, which is also why I was talking about the CK as if it was going to be an offlane pick. I still think that he has to fulfill more of that role in this game. Otherwise the Broodmother is going to get too much space.
Mubbles gets
Axe.
the water rune and top. Axe, yep. 150 HP, battery assault, and the right clicks from Fishman. 2 kills in this lane. I think this is off to a great start for Into the Breach. 1 kill on the enemy pos 5, and now they kill the offlane duo.
If you can play a lane aggressively with Luna, she has so much damage. Her problem is just that she doesn't trade all too well. So all you want to do is keep on making kills, and Fishman is enabling her so well right now. I've really liked his positioning in this lane. You can see he's not looking to pull at all. He's not interested in the lane equilibrium. He knows they're going to come to him, and he's going to kill them when they do.
Yep, and it kind of also allows the Luna to kind of just, just keep on pushing the lane. They're pushing back, so why not just brawl as much as your heart desires? So it definitely does enable this clockwork a lot. He's already picked up boots as well. Level 4. 5 minutes in. He's almost got more XP than the Luna does. Meanwhile, top lane. Slavi, trouble, Malek. Is he going to have enough damage for this? Doesn't look like he's going to get this CK. Will lose his vision there. Would have needed at least another right click after that. He might lose his life. Instead, the CK stun with the Splinter Blast. Spider legs are falling almost off, and in the end, Muff gets the last right click. 2 kills for Hippomaniacs, both in the top lane.
For Broodmother, after the Insatiable Hunger nerf, you're not going to get as much HP out of a level 1 trade anymore with that spell. So, can't really sustain going on your low HP pools after your aggression has already failed. He pays the price there.
Tanner. This is like, you got the 2 kills in the top lane, so as soon as that happens, Muff gets to pull the creep wave. I've been witnessing this on camera a couple times where Muff pulls the wave, Lion intervenes on the other way around, and we're missing a lot of kills here because these are just coming out of nowhere. Finally get a track of thought on something, and another kill pops up. 6 kills, 6 minutes, Axe killed, and that's the first kill for the Luna as well.
Listen, man, that's why you're the play-by-play.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sleeping on stuff here.
It's very hot. I could tell everybody that in the break I've been sitting here with a bag of frozen peas in my neck just to make sure that it didn't overheat.
Regeneration.
Frozen peas are really the best.
They're so good with schooling bags.
They are. You could almost say the best cure for almost anything. Then you can eat them after.
All I'm saying is
Fishman coming in from the side though. They're playing aggressive. Tipek with the call. LSA stun. Clockwork very low on HP. Stick charges come through, but Filmini is the one to drop first. He will lose his life before that. Fishman pops the cogs as well. Keeps Tipek at the... Look at this guy baiting. Walking back in. Walking back out. He's a bit of a tease as well. But Tipek, he walks out. Lil Pleb just gets so many free right clicks in on that one. They get the kill on Lina. Leave the clock alive.
He is exactly that. He is a tease, is what you're talking about.
Look at
And
mid.
Tipek's trying to get some. Yeah. This Lesh is going for the tower, and as you can see, Xantic cannot keep him off of this. Like, ads should be rotating. Somebody else should be taking this lane. They don't really have somebody who can do it, though, is the problem.
Nope, they can't. And Philmany in trouble in bottom. No mana on these two into the Breach heroes, but they're just right-clicking Lina down. And Tipek, man, if there was a moment in the Berlin Wall where he's just standing on the other side of the cogs waving at his friend, but he can't really do anything about it. He's just going to have to watch his friend fall.
No.
Can't get through those
Kirkman's
cogs.
made of iron.
Yep.
Fishman's showing off, really. I mean, I like this guy on a regular day, but today, yeah, this is already an MVP performance for me. Don't need much more.
Tanner is doing some stacks here. Muff will scout them out. Is he going to block a cap with a sentry? Yes, sir. Oh, they get the... Tanner doesn't actually know. Okay, now he does. He's coming in from a direction where Tanner's like, okay, he's probably put a ward on this cliff here. But if he's smart, he'll place it here. Might even get a potential...
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, nothing else to it. Meanwhile, Tipek, looking at his HP pool falling at the same time. He's dead. Muff can't TP because Tanner's holding on to. He's got both the stun and the hex. There's no way Muff can run from this. Tanner's just right-clicking him down. Okay. Time, space created, I guess. You what, mate? That's I was about to tell you. I want to hear this voice line more. They've got the most British voice lines you could possibly imagine. They're going to kill that Wyvern. You don't even need to watch that because CK falls in his own jungle. In it, bruv. You what, mate? The most British things you could ever hear in a game, and I'm glad they brought it in.
Money to burn.
It's amazing. I really love those voice lines. And yeah, guess what? The Axe, after having such an unexpectedly bad lane on bottom, does not get to push through that bottom tower before having to go to top.
Yep.
Where that Broodmother, now has level 7, is going to start spawning the spiderlings and running down the tower. So
Hook shot in mid, looking for Mambos. Beautiful catch by Fishman. Muff is right next to it, but Xantic might get an opportunity here to bully the Slash, but they're taking so much damage. The heal from Muff. Boys are just standing there soaking all that magical damage, and here comes the Brood Mama. Malik comes in, and Lesh is out of play.
Lesh is their only playmaker in this game, but this is what's going to happen. The Brood can just run through that entire jungle. She's made a belt of webs, cinching tightly around that dire jungle, and she's just going to pull it tighter. Like, Tipek is here, he can snipe some of the farm, but without a blink dagger, he can't actually jump on the Brood. There's no surprise factor here. She can just run circles around him. In fact, as they just want him. I say not even that. Yep. No circles for you, sir.
Jump the call, comes out, waiting for the spiders. Doesn't really want to suicide these at all.
No, and
maybe if they send these spiders in, it's just spin to win.
Can't.
A good time to turn their attention towards Muff, though.
Middle tower is being attacked.
It's so instinctual. You want to just take all of the spiders.
What the heck? I can't believe I've missed like almost every single kill this game. Like just a casual kill for Lil Pleb. Oh my god. Can we hire a cameraman? Oh boy. However, Brood pushing in top is gonna get this tower down pretty well. If yep. Nope. Okay. Nope. Not for now. Meanwhile, they notice Mambos in mid. Xantic trying to come to rescue his own tower. 25 seconds for the hook shot. Tower goes down. The catapult is there to do the work. Philmany tries to get to Tanner. Here comes Malik and Muff trying to keep them away. It's very important that the axe is nearby to call all those spiders if they decide to go full in. But they got the tower down. Still 11-2.
A little bit of a breather. Oh yeah, this game's not going well. Again, the only leverage they have is the Leshrac, and he can't do it on his own either. This is not a playmaking hero, this is a pushing hero. So you've got to always have the Winter Wyvern with him, and that locks up most of your heroes, especially because the axe is already locked up in dealing with the Brood, unless you want to give up the tower, in which case, you know, you can just let that go.
Yeah.
At the very least, it looks like Into the Breach are not defending bot right now. I don't think they need to let this go, honestly.
Potentially they could defend, yeah. There's no Eclipse on the Luna. Luna will just continue farming these stacks that have been made by Tanner. Tanner will continue to make more with Fishman. Yep. This is so much dodge for the Luna. They're gonna let this tower fall, knowing that the Leshrac is gonna burst through it. There's the glyph at least. They'll get it back right after.
They're late at that point. At the very least, they get the top tower, and they can bring the Luna in after she clears this stack and take down the middle tower. Or actually, if the Brood comes over, they don't need the Luna for that.
Yep. Took a quick look. There's a Midas on the CK, kind of a comeback Midas, I would say in this case. Not bad. I would still pick the Midas is still good for not only just the attack speed, but I mean, combined with the power treads, pretty good. Malik wants to go in. CK, yeah. Listen for reality rift. Like, did he catch someone? He's actually just on the jungle. Mambos. Lil Pega has 1 point in Eclipse now. Here comes the hook shot onto the Lesh. Lesh getting pushed back and losing all of his mana. And then you might just be able to take this Luna down with the Eclipse. Slawi comes in, turns around, not able to. They will take down Fishman at least with the Laguna Blade. Tipek, however, falling. Moth is just getting chewed by the spiders. And Lil Pleb will live. Double kill for Malik. 3 for 1 and a tower down. You what,
That's
mate?
a blink reveal for the axe too. Yeah, you what, mate? Not much, mate. Not
That's a bit
much
dark,
at all.
innit?
Innit, bruv. Okay, I really should not do that. Like, my British friends are just cringing to death right now. I
already got called off by one British caster when I tried to do a little bit of British. I threw it over to the caster desk when I was studio hosting last week, and they were like, "That must be the worst accent I've ever heard," and I just cringed myself out of the desk. I was like, "Oh boy, like I should not have done that."
But you have heard it.
Yes, exactly. You have heard it.
Just Jack Sparrow it, man.
Yeah, guess so. Mambos doesn't take damage, at least from one spell, but there's too much. Just too much a man can handle.
More damage where that came from. Yeah, this Midas is actually really necessary on the CK. Like, I know that's not the offlane CK that I wanted to see, but as it turns out, if you play up but you also need to scale, then you're not going to get much time to hit creeps. So, or much space for that matter, if other heroes on your team need it more, like, say, the Axe and the Lesh. So, Hana Midas makes the most out of a small amount of space, and I don't see any item that would have, for that same price tag, that could have saved the game for them right now. It's just impossible. This Brood is out of control. The Luna had an absolutely splendid lane. She's so tanky right now. It's got the Dragonlance. Yasha, she's very hard to kill, so she can just join in these pushes. Like, Xantic is almost an afterthought in this game. He can just enable both of these side laners.
And this is like, you're looking at the Axe. Axe is a blink dagger. You're supposed to be making plays now. So this has to work. This has to work. Xantic has an Invis rune. Oh boy, they're like, where is he? Where is he? Who is he? Where is he? Sentry down to the ground. Xantic just jumps on film, and he manages to dodge the call, at least, and the stun as well, and they take down the Lina. Here comes Tanner. Tanner with a Hex onto the Axe. The Axe is being held in place. The hook shot from Fishman. He catches Mambos inside, and Mambos in trouble. The spiders will go on Muff. Muff taking a lot of damage to the backline. We want Mambos all around, surrounded by enemies. Clockwork gets hit by the Winter's Curse, and he lives with 8 HP. 8 HP. And Muff just getting slowly tortured to death. Hippomaniacs have 3 kills this game. Just getting overrun. Overrun. Here comes Slavi with the stun. Tanner moves in. He pops his Hex. Removes the Phantasm. Here comes a casual Laguna Blade on Lil Pleb, but Lil Pleb's just fine with it.
Look at that. As soon as the magic damage is over, this Luna has so much armor right now. She's already at 23. The CK does nothing to her.
Xantic getting caught by the LSA. If you only had that Laguna now. Oh, and he moves away from Tipek with the blink call. Toying with Hippomaniacs. They have 3 heroes revealing in mid, and now into the breach. They're slowly moving towards. They could take a fight, but I don't think they have to. They're already happy with that previous engagement. They're 9,000 gold ahead.
Yeah. It's incredible. And the best part, I think, about how Into the Breach is playing right now is that they don't have to go this fast. They have a Luna. After how well the laning stage went, this game is basically already in the bag. You would have seen a lot of teams take it a lot easier. But these guys want to make a statement. They're here to saying, alright, Hippomaniacs, bring on some better stuff, man.
Yep.
Because we can just push you and keep on pushing you. We can kill you under your towers. We don't care.
Oh, Fishman goes in once again. Mambos, public enemy number 1. Caught once again. Winter's Curse. Yeah, okay, he lives with 200 HP.
Oh.
Tipek coming with a bit of a call, but the heroes are running in very interesting directions, even with the taunt in or out. I don't know what happened with that interaction there. It probably shouldn't work that way. But nevertheless, Hippomaniacs 3 heroes down. CK might just be the fourth. Yep, that's going to be the fourth kill. Tipek linking in with the call, looking for some kind of reinitiation there to keep the CK alive a little bit longer. But it is a full-on team wipe. You what, mate? Comes out once again. As intended. Oh, what is that? Oh, that's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. I need this. I need the supporter pack. I need the supporter pack right now.
I'm so glad they finally got this into the game. It took them quite a bit of doing, but
It did, but man, sometimes the wait is worth.
absolutely. They got me very tempted as well. And the game is so easy when you can play up with your Luna like that. Give your aura to the entire team. Be at absolutely no risk of dying because they just like the magical damage that they would need in order to kill you comes from the Lesh. And they've always been engaging in on the Lesh so far. He is not in a position to threaten the Luna. She can clean up the rest. And there's just no power, no show of force from Hippomaniacs to put any word in edgewise.
Remember when we talked about hitting 10k net worth in 18 minutes? What about 12k before?
She's doing decently. She's doing all right.
That's a heavy understatement, but yeah, sure thing. 12k on this is just nuts.
It is
200 last hits as well. Like, just had the freest game of his life. This isn't even a pub game. Like, it's
You'd think it, right? But actually, no. If you look at the way that Into the Breach is moving right now, this is definitely not a pub game. A lot of this is very well coordinated.
Very cool. Yes, indeed. They're enjoying their gameplay right now. I'm pretty sure that Hippomaniacs didn't sign up for a beating. They need to come up with something here.
In the TI qualifiers, you either administer the beating or you get the beating.
Yep, Tipek misses the call. Fishman drops low. Okay, return kill. That's already 20% added to their full list of kills. It's something. Slobby almost catches the reality rift on that Xantic. Moves away.
It's important that the Lesh is in fighting shape.
It is.
ITB have to be a little bit careful here.
Especially with Mambo's already died 5 times this game. Pretty important to keep the Slash alive. He has been surviving several times in engagements, or at least drops very low on HP. But most importantly, getting out. And that was great help from their team. They get 1 stun. They have 2 more that they can easily follow up. Actually, even 3 if we're actually putting everything together.
But you gotta hit the initial one, and Tipek has not had a lot of luck.
That's the big one. That's the one that makes the big difference. Roshan falling. Aegis, most likely. It could go for Malik, to be honest. They will give it for a little bit. They will let the Luna pick this one up. After all, this brood is more of an utility brood.
Yeah, they're ready to go high ground with this Luna at the mid to end.
Nice hook shot.
Another
Fishman
hook shot. Look
almost
at that
catches
pad.
the Winter Wyvern. Oh, he uses the curse on that Xantic, though. It's not really a fight anyway. At least he gets out.
Yeah, this is more a mugging in a dark alleyway. This is where you just leave the homies behind.
Wanna stay.
Radiant's middle tower is
Fishman's hook shots. They've been pretty bonkers this game. He's been part of 15 out of the 25 kills. Big kill participation.
Tower is taking damage.
He's really on another level. He's doing pos 4 work from the pos 5 position. And without breaking a sweat, really. Like, I've seen 1 bad hook shot from him. And that was really where his team was just like, wow, man. I know we gotta go on the Lesh, but maybe not right now. He's definitely leading by example, which is a very hard thing to do as a pos 5, because normally when you do that, you die. It's one of the biggest problems for core players switching to support incidentally. They want to lead with their body, because that's what they normally do. And if you do that as a pos 5, you die. But
they smoked
Fishman,
up, but
game of a lifetime.
they smoked up, but they also got pinged out. I think Muff caught something of a glimpse of an animation edge or something. Sees him coming. Slobby, he's ready for it. He's expecting it.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't really matter. He doesn't actually get anything out here. The stun comes out. The Laguna Blade also connecting. They have Felmany hexed up on the backline. Tanner comes in for the finger, takes down the CK. That's one down. 4 more to go. Here comes the Luna. Right clicking away. Luna's just slowly dropping and falling. Mambo's nowhere to run. And Fishman walks ahead, looking for the cogs, but the Winter's Curse is there to hold him just a little bit longer. Not enough, though. Tipek with a blink call. Trying to get something out of this, but where are your spins? Where are your spins? Not a single spin. GG, that's it. They've had enough. I think this is a good time to call it. Go for game 2. Into the breach. Run over.
That's a spanking. Hey, like this was not a fight. This was into the breach, just putting Hippomaniacs over their knee and pulling their pants down.
Pretty much. That was... Wait, hang on. There we go. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to it. That's really pretty much the story here. Into the breach, execution-wise, a lot better. I liked Hippomaniacs with the way that they were looking at their draft. Like, if we just get this and that working, this could be easily our game. But Leshrac got shut down. They got 2 towers. Yeah, they got 2 towers. That's all I can find in their gameplay. That's the cruelty. That's the truth that it is. They only got 2 towers down, and pretty much the game fell flat.
Yeah, they did not expect to get outplayed that hard on a bot lane, but that's exactly what happened. Fishman really made this entire game possible because, again, after that, with both of the side lanes winning, you can just bring that Luna to the fights immediately. She doesn't have to, keep on camping in the triangle, taking those stacks, waiting until she's finally big enough. No, she's big enough from the start. And they really, really pressed that advantage home. Very fast, impressive gameplay, and yeah, I'm gonna hand that MVP award to Fishman now because I feel like this guy has maybe even been a bit overlooked, but I want to see more like this from him.
I also want to see a lot more from Fishman. He's been playing really well, and especially I think he's been getting better and better as time's been flowing forward. He's been playing in so many different teams. I hope this one's the one that makes the magic work. The Brits are happy. They're up on the board with 1 win, another one, and they will go straight through to the next stage, dropping out Hippomaniacs out of the tournament. For Hippos, I think it can only get better from here, but they need to score a win, otherwise they're out. However, we'll take a breather, and we'll return with game number 2 after that.